I'm on final approach to runway 23 right at Raleigh Durham International Airport. I'm about 15 miles northeast of the airport. I'll go around and take a look at some views here. This is outside the plane. The airport is right there at the nose. And before we get going too far, I'll tell you a little bit about these dials. This is my airspeed indicator. It says I'm doing right now about 110 knots. Indicated airspeed. This is my turn and bank indicator. I'm not using that right now. Here's my fuel gauges. Of course, I have full tanks. Exhaust gas temperature. Fuel flow. This is my oil temperature, oil pressure. My vacuum for my gauges. Here's my amps I'm putting out right now. I'm putting out right now at there's no draw on the amps right now. Okay. This is my artificial horizon. This is my directional gyro, altimeter, vertical speed indicator, tachometer. This is my VOR glide slope indicator. This is my second one. This is the directional finder. I have the fuel pump on. I have the beacon light on. The landing light is on. The taxi light is off because I'm not taxiing right now. I have my other lights, my strobes and navigation lights. My pitot heat, there's a little tube that sticks out from underneath the wing that measures airspeed. Because it's a little cool out today, I had the pitot heat on. I'm going to turn the instrument panel on. Here's my throttle and fuel mixture. Here's where I can lower my flaps. Here's my trim tab. Here's where I can select what gas tank I'm going to use. I have two radios. This side of the two radios is communications. This side here is navigation. This is the frequency for the non-directional beacon. I'm not using that for this flight. This radio here is the DME, distance measuring equipment. It's tuned to 111.7, so it tells me I'm 11.7 miles from runway 23 right. That frequency also triggers this gauge. It tells me my ground speed is 48 knots. This is my transponder. I'm flying VFR, Visual Flight Rules, so I have to squawk, as they call it, my 1200. This is my autopilot. I have it turned on. I'm having to hold my altitude at 2,500 feet, which is what this altimeter is telling me. Here in a little bit, this gauge here is going to move. This tells me whether I'm horizontally aligned with the runway. This tells me whether I'm vertically on the correct glide slope to get to the runway. My RPMs right now are at 2,400 RPM. Just watching for this bar right here to start moving left and right. Just keeping my eye on this upper right gauge right here. The DME, or distance measuring equipment, tells me I'm 12 miles from the airport. My indicated airspeed is right now is about 105 knots, but my ground speed, because apparently I'm heading into a headwind, is 67 knots. I'm banking because it's starting to pick up the signal for this runway. Again, it's on frequency 111.7 megahertz. You'll see this needle. It'll go back and forth across this dotted line, and finally it'll line itself up. Now I'm horizontally aligned with the center line of runway 23 right, which means I should be flying at a heading of 230 degrees. So you'll see it go back and forth, and finally it'll settle right on that dotted line. This line here is my glide slope. Right now I'm a little above the glide slope, but because I'm 12 miles out and I'm going to maintain my altitude, I'm going to intercept that glide slope, and eventually you'll start seeing that thing come down. When that happens, I'm going to turn the autopilot off, which is holding my altitude at 2,500 feet above sea level. I turn that off, and I'll start controlling my altitude with just the throttle. An old saying, you control airspeed with the stick and altitude with the throttle. See that vertical bar starting to swing back and forth here again. Okay, you'll see this horizontal bar that tells me whether I'm above or below glide slope. Right now I'm just a hair below glide slope, so I'm going to lower the throttle a little bit. What I want to do optimally is fly at 500 feet per minute descent. That's this gauge right here. I'm going to lower my flaps 2 notches or 10 degrees. You see the flaps hanging off of the back of the plane right there? That slows your descent, allows you to fly a little slower at a greater angle of attack. I'm flying basically right now over our house, and a little farther north than that. There's a water tower near our house, right there by the left wheel. And you can see the airport right in front of me. Okay, again, it's telling me I'm above glide slope, so I want to give it a little throttle, come up a little bit. Watch the vertical speed indicator here in the center. This one right here. We're going to go to 200 feet per minute instead of 400, 500. Another old saying is you fly the needles. So if the needle's high, I want to go a little higher. Slow, I want to go a little lower. Okay, right now I'm 5.2 nautical miles from the airport. So we get that glide slope under control here. Slowly bring it down. There we go. Come on down. I'm just controlling my altitude with just the throttle. I'm not touching the joystick at all. Okay, we're 4.7 nautical miles. I'm going to lower the instrument panel so we can see out a little bit better. I'll do this. We're getting ready to fly over Highway 70 and Westgate Road. That's what these roads are right below me. You can see we're dead center of the center line. I'm going to lower, come down a little lower. You see those? Okay. See these lights right here? There's 4 lights. There's 3 white, 1 red. What that means, that's called a VASI, vertical approach slope indicator. It's telling me I'm a little slow, a little low. I should have 2 white, 2 red. You watch it in a second. It's going to change to 2 white, 2 red. There you go. Now I'm on the perfect glide slope right there. If I can hold it right there, I'll come in for a perfect landing. Okay, right now I'm flying at about 50 knots, 56 knots to be exact. Okay, right now he says I'm a little high. Give it a little throttle. Turn autopilot off. I'm going to fly this by hand. Give it a little throttle. We'll land right on the marks. It's looking good. Lower the throttle just a little bit and let it kind of slowly lose altitude. Bounced it a little bit. Get off the runway as soon as possible. Give it a little left pedal. And now here we are on taxiway Baker 7.